Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't see you there.
So guess who got distracted by talking about JoJo for like 20 minutes before we went live?
Yeah.
It was longer than 20 minutes.
Like, just now I muted the mic to complain more about JoJo.
This feels like a Slaying the Blade moment, like, well, you were sitting there quietly and very awkwardly waiting for all the go-aheads to go live while mics are going. We muted the mic and talked about JoJo some more.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. I'm a little taller than Chelsea here. Let me just...
Oh.
Oh, nice. Good drop.
Meow.
No.
Oh, man. I think the thing about JoJo is, like, I just can't get over the misogyny in it. Like, anytime something misogynistic happens, I'm like...
It is so clearly obvious that this guy's relationship with women is complicated in the same way that it's so clearly obvious that he's afraid of needles. Like,
It's... The thing about, like, misogyny as media is it's like a magic eye thing. Like, when people are like, no, look, you can see the boat. Can't you see the boat? You're sitting there and you're like, this is a weird pattern on a piece of paper. I don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye. And then the second you see it, like, to everyone else, you're like, the boat, the boat, the boat. It's so fucking obvious, the boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
now, ironically, I think one of the, at least from what we've seen, the most weird, yikesy episode so far has included a boat as the main centerpiece.
Was it the stand boat?
The sand boat?
The stand boat.
Yeah, the stand boat. The boat that's a stand.
That was really yikes.
And the stand belongs to a pedophile orangutan.
And they made, like, a 12-year-old girl be, like, naked in it. And they were...
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
The whole episode. Just...
There's gotta be a point where, like, I mean, I shouldn't speak as, like, at this point, I'm not necessarily, like, a weeb per se. I've seen a bit of anime, but in 2020, that's normal.
That's
like,
yeah.
But from an external perspective, or at least, like, the reason I can't get into anime is because there's tropes that just pervade it that, like, are exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, you sit there and you're like, oh, there's all this cutesy little animation about an uncomfortably underage girl, and, like, there's some kind of really flimsy justification around a dragon or immortality or shape-shifting or some other bullshit to justify it, and, like, you just get tired of it. Like, there's got to be a point where you sit there and go, can we have less vaguely pedophilic shit? Can we?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anybody noticed, but the reason that Attack on Titan was, like, a landmark achievement for popularizing anime and, like, general culture was, like, it wasn't as bad at the shit that anime's cringy at, you know?
If I had to recommend one anime to watch, it would be Iruma-kun. It's about a dude whose parents are shit, and they sold his soul to a demon, and that demon turns out to be, like, the principal of a demon high school where that kid needs to go, because the demon, all he wanted was a goddamn grandson. And so demons eat people, and all he has to do is survive high school, and that's it. And it turns out that his life skills that he got from his parents being a piece of shit and him having to raise himself make him perfect at surviving the demon world. And it's amazing.
That is a good sell. Holy shit, I have to watch this.
And if you are worried about the, like, 1,000-year-old lolly girl, that is not a thing. That is straight up not a thing. The main female character is a girl called Clara, and she is precious and amazing, and every single time she tries to be seductive, she fails miserably, and it's adorable.
Relatable.
Hey, what's that fucking anime where he's like, I'm the Prince of Hell, I think, and oh no, there's a girl that died, or I summoned her, and now she's here, and I'm King of Hell, and this is my hell territory, and the girl's there too, and, like, I guess that's most anime. Anyway, the point is, this girl's, just her fucking rack was enormous, and that was literally her only, like, not even character, it was the only thing that, like, they had planned about her character, is that she has huge boobs, and then she dies, I guess, and she's like, good thing my clothes died with me, and then she gets eaten by a plant in hell, and then all her clothes disappear. And then I think she takes the hell guy out of hell, and he has to be in a high school.
It's
that's powerful anime energy.
That's the first anime
that I was specifically going. Oh, I think I have an anime that fits this description until you got to boob size, and that was the differentiator. Literally, yeah. I was like, okay, the Prince of Hell, who's the King of Hell, who comes into this new dimension, and there's a girl who comes through in the other dimension, and they like get together. And then you mentioned big boobs. I'm like, okay, so it's not the devil as a part-timer.
No,
I love Devil as a part-timer though.
No, it's not that one.
I will say it is really nice to see a lot of anime actually tackle a lot of like Christianity and the imagery involved, because there's a weird unspoken taboo about that somehow in 2020 is still pervasive in media. Like we don't put Christianity in media as lore. We still treat it as like, oh well, we can't put that on TV if it'd be sacrilege. Like what is this? The goddamn 1920s?
Yeah. Meanwhile.
I want to see Satan work at a McDonald's and try to turn his life around. Okay? That's relatable.
It is fucking relatable, and I love it.
It's not sacrilegious, but in JoJo, there is a man that dies when a giant slab of stone shaped like a cross lands right smack dab on top of him. And it's like, every shot, you have to ensure that we get it, that it's like a cross shape. But the character has nothing to do with Jesus. There's no, like, reason for it to be a Christ symbol. He didn't even really sacrifice himself. He just lost a fight for the dummy for running in there. And then Araki is just like, man, what if it was a big cross that killed him? So like, yeah. I don't think Western media would do that, you know.
Would Western media read from a clipboard?
They would read from a clipboard. They read from a clipboard quite a bit.
When they took the capital, it was once and for all. That might be the smoothest transition to clipboard we've done in like months.
And you ruined it by saying that.
Honestly, at this point, this is still better than most of our intros the past few months.
That's fair.
As the battle lines pushed onward, the seat of the giant king was unassailed. A full-size statue of the king was built many years ago, a monument to millennia of giant dominance. They cracked the head off the statue, placed it in the king's lap. Where once stood a monument to history, now stood a ruin. And on that ruin's head, a new monument was made. A monument dedicated to the future. They swapped the head for a tavern. The original statue, with the king's stone eyes, gazed upon the whole city with sadist's entitlement. But now, only Oldfort watches Oldfort. And if you, yes you, want to drink while you're in Oldfort, come to the King's Head Tavern. Grab your brew of choice and look out from the balcony. Look and rejoice at the anonymity of your equals, lest more ruthless eyes gaze instead. Welcome to Bloodwine.
We decided right at the wrong time, didn't we?
Oh no! I make sure we were still muted when you had.
Okay, moving on.
Did we miss something?
I'm not anything important.
Well, just the funniest things Gabe's ever said in his life. Okay, Maya, stop.
Well, that could be anything.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
And we'll sit on the anonymity so it has the maximum potential for success.
Exactly.
Right.
So you guys are. Well, the last time we met, you guys were dealing with a wagon situation. There was a blockage in the road. That being said, near the end of the day, you managed to get past it, and by the time it was just before nightfall, you made it to the city of Oldfort. By now, because this is when we're settling into things. It's late at night, just around kind of dinner through late dinner to when the tavern's open. It's still pretty dark, so you can't see the bulk of the city, but you can see lights kind of nestled around a little mini valley close to the top of a mountain. There's another larger valley below where there's a number of villages that have spread out and set up their farms, but here there's kind of a little pocket the way the mountain's built. Welcome. We move past a few people, and you're here at the gates. They kind of just look at you, wave you past, and you clatter into the village without necessarily needing to declare your business or anything like that. You've got an empty rental wagon, and you're here in an unfamiliar city.
We got a rookery to find.
Yep, I suppose we do. It's kind of late, though. I don't imagine they'd appreciate us barging in and demanding our payload this late.
Yeah, let's maybe find a place to stay.
Alright, fine.
Well, you guys are in the middle of a street. You look around. It's a wide open kind of space. Here, things in the Freedlands, things are really largely proportioned. While in Newtown, it was a new town, thus the name, a lot of new built buildings the size of Torgs. Here, it's a lot of older giant buildings that have been retrofitted to the right size. So the architecture itself has been subdivided into little kind of levels and stories, but really, even in spite of that, everything kind of looms. There's this big wide street, way wider than it needs to be, and along the edges, there's a few kind of spaces that are torn down market stalls where some people are setting up camp. Unlike other places you've been, there's just so much space here that you kind of feel like you could just pull off to the side and set camp, and it's very obvious that a few other people have done so. That being said, you can see the street kind of wind around, and it takes you a second. Who here would be the more perceptive?
I mean, maybe. Unless it's a visual thing.
The irony in that is...
It would be Jane.
I would be more perspective than Sun.
Yes. I think Jane might be more perceptive than Croakwill. Croakwill is basking in her victory.
So Croakwill and Sun, you're kind of leaning back on the wagon, getting a bit of rest, kind of half asleep. Nearby, you've got, what's his name, Bilgy, just kind of nice and cozy, keeping an eye on the reins. Sitting in the back of the wagon, Tiana's leaned over for a bit of early sleep. Dealing with someone like you dealt with last session is tiring, and it takes a bit out of you. So Jane, you're kind of walking along the wagon, and you see it just kind of a light. Here it's this big thing, the valleys, everything, you're looking past. And then as your eyes adjust, you notice past sort of a big series of columns and archways, there's this big statue. There's something in its lap, but on top of it where a head should be, there's this big, prominent building with a big archway, and you can see there's a number of people milling about, big, pillars of smoke coming in from a few chimneys. It looks like it's probably a tavern of some sort.
On the head?
So these archways, what do the archways look like, Will?
Almost like a Roman aqueduct, but at a significantly larger size. There's actually a few aqueducts here and there that are smaller, that are about half the size. They go to and fro to bring water to different parts of kind of the city from a reservoir on the far side. Here, you can see that these archways were probably built for the giants rather than for the inhabitants. Looking about, it takes you a second as well. This wouldn't be Croakwill noticing it, but someone else mentioning it. Some of these big they would probably be squares or little fenced-in areas for the giants, but they've been retrofitted with roofs and a series of stories to be these big, almost like apartment buildings. Looking about, they're tens of meters wide, hundreds tall. They kind of they're at a physical scale that you don't perceive them as architecture at first, more as environment.
I see. See, my mind was going to a tavern with arches. Are they perhaps golden? Is this McDonald's? Like, is this McDonald's?
It's just straight up a McDonald's.
Just straight up a McDonald's.
That would be a different thing. You look over to the side and you see that they happen to have one of these franchises open. There's a little sign similarly. You can see that there's someone who's paid to sit there and crank a wheel back and forth, looking bored, get a bit of momentum, and then go and flip a burger and keep the wheel going. This little spinning, glowing sign lit up in an F. You get closer and you see there's a sign that says free burger. There's someone else who's standing at the counter kind of serving people, going, waiting, slapping something together, passing it along. Someone between the two is behind like a different counter, assembling things, sliding them along.
Nice.
Well, you hungry?
You know, I bet they get the joke. Oh, it's free burger, eh? Must not got to pay for it.
You chuckle to yourself as there's like 3 more people in line waiting.
Well, we might be able to find room and board over at the tavern, and not here where I can just feel depression.
It permeates the air.
It permeates the air. Like,
Gianna kind of like grumbles, slumps off the side of the cart and goes, "Yeah, give me a second. I feel like trash."
All right, then.
sometimes you just feel like trash.
Yeah, no, all the time.
We've been at sea for a while, and you know, some trash food might be a little bit nice.
From like the seat, you hear a tired sounding Bilgy go, "Oh, get me like, I don't know, 10-piece trash, free nuggies." That's it.
Free nuggies.
Free nuggets. So how many nuggets did you want?
Okay.
That was 3-piece of 10.
Well, honestly, and you can see like the line getting shorter. If you're going for the 10, I might honestly bump you up to the. Gianna kind of winces at the menu, narrows her eyes. 12? 16.
Croquill at that is just like, I'm good, thanks. I'm gonna stick with the wagon.
Give me some free nuggies if you're getting them.
Okay.
So the 24?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the 24, and okay, just the 24 then. Nobody wants a drink or some fries or.
I'm gonna get one of them combination.
Oh, okay.
Combinations we got up there.
Shit. Sorry, you go ahead. The line shortens a little bit, and Gianna waves someone else ahead while you guys are deciding.
Well, I mean, I know what I'm getting.
I don't know what you're getting. What you getting?
Tiana's gonna order for you.
Oh, Tiana's ordering for me. I want the giant burger.
I mean, you can get in line if you want. I mean, big street, people can go around you.
Okay, well, yeah, no, I'll just you guys figure it out. I'll pay for myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I grab one of the 12-piece? You grab the other 12-piece.
No, I just want a hamburger. I'm getting a hamburger. You guys figure out what you want.
I thought we weren't going to have a roadblock this session, Will.
I'm split out. I'm just going to order myself a hamburger.
All right, you kind of slump off the wagon. Tiana shrugs, wanders up. You can hear her kind of order the 12-piece of nuggets. You can hear herself get like a double free burger without cheese, no pickles. Yes, the combo. Yes, the medium. No supersize. No, I don't need a toy. Yes, thank you. No, I don't have a rewards card. Yes, thank you. And then gets kind of motioned over. There's a space that you feel you are meant to inhabit.
I stroll over to that space.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, can I have the number 5?
All right, perfect. The number 5. All right, so that's the double free fish burger with fries and a drink. Did you want the drink a medium, large, small?
Medium.
Was that a large? Did you want to? I'm sorry. Did you want to supersize the combo?
No. Just any more questions you got? Just check yes for them.
I can't do that in case my manager's listening.
Oh,
do you have a rewards card?
No.
Would you like to donate a gold to local children's charities?
It's like a lot of money. No.
It's a lot of money.
All right, that's going to be 3 copper.
Yeah, here you go. And I give him 4, so keep the change.
I am not authorized to do this. He looks really frustrated at the fact he's forced to say that, and you can, for a second, you feel him bristle, and then after you feel him bristle, just from behind a crate, you can see a slightly better dressed, but still obviously in uniform Torg walk behind, kind of look around the store.
Ooh.
3 copper was the meal. Do you want to donate a gold?
You want to donate a gold to children's charity?
Well, take care there, pal. And I go over to Tiana.
All right. Tiana's kind of awkwardly sitting there. You're there for about 30 seconds, and then they slap down the order for Tiana. Tiana picks it up and hands it to the wagon, and then kind of leans against it.
Well,
15 seconds.
I'm kind of wondering what their toys are. I imagine it's like fake Tower Shield Torg action figures and like a giant that is clearly supposed to be killed is like another one, and like...
While I'm waiting here, can I lean over the counter to see what kind of... Not lean over the counter, that's a bad way to phrase it, but just pay attention. Is anyone putting a toy in a bag that I can see?
So Corporal's listening, Sun's looking. Odds or evens?
Evens. Let me roll it. Oh, yeah! That's a 1, not beans.
So you don't recognize who it's for, but it seems to be modeled after some sort of group of famous adventurers. It's one of those things that kids are into, but as adults, you kind of aren't really paying attention if they're not really in the same area and you're not collaborating or competing. Yeah. You can see that there's a few of them. Croquill, you're listening and you hear a kid going "Mom," in the back of the line, I want turret. He puts down turrets, and you can hear repeatedly. You have to drone it out, but that's really interesting, sweetie. Oh yeah? No, sure. Yes, I definitely care what you have to say. Ongoing, and the kid kind of blindly being and turret, he puts down the shield, and then Beef comes in behind with the sword.
Beef.
Hey Ken.
Yeah.
What's the next generation of Lunk?
Well, there's Lunk, and then there's the Lunclay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you're referring to by next generation.
There was Lunk and then there was Lunclay. If there's a third one, what's that Lunk iteration?
Oh, God.
Lunkle.
Nah.
Lunker.
Has he evolved to Link, finally?
No, he's never evolved to Link. This is what Link evolves to. This
Lunk.
is beyond Link.
Lonk with a QUE.
Lonk.
I like Lonk with a QUE.
And then Lunk comes in, and it's spelled the provincial, with the QU, and he comes in with a big hammer, and he's big and strong, and he smashes, and the turret goes, and and you can hear the kid being drowned out, and then the mom going, okay, hey, Jeremy, what did you want? And at this moment, you're kind of distracted, and then there's Son, order for Son.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
The bag's past you, and you hear have a good day.
I want to boon the kid so he gets his toy.
So you sit there and you kind of wait. You're waiting as everyone's getting on the wagon. At this point, I presume that like it's close enough quarters that you're kind of just leaning off the side of the wagon listening. And then like, all right, hey John, can you get this ready? And then you hear the crinkling of a plastic bag, and you snap. And then a little bit later, as the wagon, like Bilgy snaps the reins, you can hear the kid going, "Mom, mom, 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 mom."
Perfect. That's what I wanted.
Hey, Phil. I hate that place. They're bad.
I warned you.
I throw a nugget in my mouth.
It tastes acceptable, or maybe it's really good, or maybe it's the best, or maybe you should never have it again.
Maybe it actually feels like you're about to puke from it, but
you're left distinctly unsure and willing to test another time, maybe later, but not right now.
Nice.
So you're kind of looking back and forth. You don't see a lot of them, like inns open or anything like that. You can see that the road kind of curves around and heads up towards the top of that statue.
To the statue!
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to sleep in an actual bed for once. That'd be kind of nice.
you don't like the swaying of the hammock?
Oh, it's not that I don't like it, but variety's the spice of life, you know?
In terms of beds? Maybe.
You know, it's just sort of a general rule. But it applies to beds, too.
So you clatter along, you make your way up, and you see that there's this big open area, again, amongst a few pillars, where kind of there's a bunch of lines painted on the ground. There's a few guards and towers here and there patrolling, but only the amount you kind of expect around the middle of town. People seem to be kind of just leaving their wagons here. In a distant corner, far away from where everyone else's wagons are, and far away from the pile of like broken yokes and wheels and spokes and that kind of stuff, you can see that there's a double wide broken down wagon that's been splayed across, somehow like min-maxing it just perfectly, exactly 6 parking spaces.
Nice.
I feel like they might be with the Strawberry Clan.
I have a feeling.
I think they got that name because of how red their faces got.
Isn't it kind of weird that it's only a double wide? So really it should only take up 2 parking spaces, but it's taking up 6? Isn't it weird how things work that way?
It's like at a weird jaunty like 60-degree angle between, you know how they have like the parking spaces on either side of a central line usually if you have a big parking lot?
Yeah.
It's like at like a 30-degree angle coming in from the side so that it's like a Fiat could make this spot and this spot, but everything else is inaccessible. And somehow this thing has invalidated like a bulk of the parking lot.
I mean, it's pretty incredible what you can do when you put your mind to it.
Wow. Strawberry Clan.
Well, let's find a parking spot.
Preferably nowhere near them.
Yes.
You ease your way in and settle sort of in the middle section. There's a little, like, there's a feeding trough, and there's a, I forget why I'm forgetting the word. I don't know the word for it. The water, and it's big.
Trough.
That thing.
Yeah,
yes.
Water trough.
I guess I just don't want to repeat words.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The water trough, and there's a separate, like, feeding trough nearby.
Basin?
There we go, a basin. That's a little bit more colorful. There we go. That really helps with the fluidity of stopping the bit for like 2 minutes straight. You look from side to side, and there's a central tavern where more people seem to be coming and going. And off to the side, there's a few buildings kind of flanking this courtyard here.
Go on.
Well, I suppose the tavern's a place we want to go.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm striding up to the tavern, walking in.
All of you kind of move forward. There's a bit of a line. It doesn't take very long, but you kind of shuffle forth. After a little while, you make your way into the central area of the tavern. There's a mezzanine above and then a mezzanine above that, and you can see that people are coming and going. They must go in a little bit deeper, because on the outside they seem the same size as the floors below, and here you can see that below the overhangs there's like tables and chairs placed. People coming and going, and there's a big kind of semicircular bar very close to you, right next to you. There's a couple of people kind of really awkwardly and obnoxiously taking up the perfect right as you walk in, you order a drink spot, but a little bit past them, the bartender and the rest of the patrons seem to have kind of subconsciously agreed on a space where drinks can be ordered past the assholes.
Nice.
You can see that on the opposite side of like where you came in and where the bar is, there's a big kind of open entryway. Above the entryway, like a set of double archways with doors that could probably be set up and closed by the bar staff, but aren't swinging doors. They're just kind of openings. There's a big window on top of that, so a lot of light would probably come in during the day. This is presumably the space that looks out over town.
Well, I'm going to go down to that group where everyone has decided to go past the assholes and ask the barkeeper about a room. I guess 3 rooms, eh? Or 5. And
Perfect. Can you spend right over there for Janine? To a spot on the other. You shuffle past, move past 1, 2 people, and then settle in at another implicit spot. Presumably Janine walks up and goes, "Hey, looking for a room?"
3 of them, I think. How many beds do a room?
We've got 1-room beds, 2-room beds, and then we got the bunk rooms.
Ooh. Bunk rooms. Sounds pretty good.
All right, how many bunks?
We need 5 bunks.
All right, that should be 1 silver total then.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Together then, or did you want to separate in groups, or?
No, all together is fine.
All right, in that case, give me a second. She leans past, goes, looks through for checks. She checks something off a little list and goes, "All right, so you're going to be in number 2. That's on," and she speaks very slowly in a way that's obviously for someone far more obnoxious than you. "You're going to be going on the far side, so when you go outdoors, you want to go to the far side of the opening, and then number 2 on..." There's a moment where she realizes she doesn't have to do this, goes, "Exactly, you'll figure it out. Have a good day, yeah? Actually, hold on, you need a drink?
Drink, no, but do you know where the rookery is?
You'll see it if you go out on the balcony."
All right then. Thank you.
Someone, right as you're saying sort of thank you, she gives you a wave and then starts to interact with someone who's slid in past behind you to check in for some rooms.
Well,
cool. Number 2.
And Hero is hoping to get away from Sun snoring for the night.
Oh, you're going to have to try harder than that.
What's Jane up to?
She probably awkwardly walked into the bar, next to the group. And then Sun went to get a room and kind of stood there for a little bit. And it's like, maybe we should get a table? And then, looked around for a table. And then looked at Tiana and said, "Do you think we should get a table?"
Tiana's kind of halfway and goes, "You look for a table, I'll look for a table." And starts walking, and then Bilgy kind of goes, "I'll look for a table," and walks towards the stairs.
Okay, table.
These morons looking for a table. We got a whole room.
I don't even know what Crowquill's doing at this one. It's just there's too many people around. She's probably going to follow close to someone. Probably Tiana.
All right, so Jane, you kind of make your way past. You're looking on the main floor. After a little bit, you realize none of them are empty. And then you realize that there might actually be some tables. You walk towards the balcony. On the other side, Crowquill, you're following across, and you're getting running commentary from Tiana yeah, nothing here. Oh, I think there's something out there on the balcony. Oh, hold on. And then, Jane, as you're walking out towards the balcony, there's kind of like, you hear a chuckling, and then there's a bump, and you can see someone still wearing like armor and like tabard and everything like that, but without a helmet, sort of like looks at you, kind of scans you for a second, looks really surprised, and you look past and you can see like yellow, red, blue, and gray.
Croakwill genuinely just starts laughing. Like,
I'm so confused. What?
the chroma core.
Oh. Okay. Is it really obvious?
You literally just bumped into this dude, and then like all of them looked at you, and like you look back, and you can hear Croakwill kind of chuckling, and Tiana looking at you, and you can see like Sun awkwardly looking over at the group from the bar, and you can see like Bilgy kind of like peering from the second floor, looking over at you. Everyone is aware of the interaction that just took place, and then the second it takes to look around, you also realize that they're not making the move.
I'll be like, nice. Keep going.
We should eat on the balcony.
Yeah.
They kind of like look from side to side. Out of the corner of your eye, you see one of them kind of like half motion to give you a cheers, and then by the time you look, they've already looked away, and then you can feel them turning to look at you by the time you've looked away, and you just leave.
I just like the idea that Croakwill knew it was the color squad, the color gang, because Warbles is literally going colors.
Colors.
Yeah.
We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
colors before.
Oh.
Nice. That's so awkward.
That's so awkward.
So there's a free table. It's not adjacent to them or adjacent to them, but it's in a spot where you're definitely going to be giving them sidelong glances like all night.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sitting down. I'll make my way over to the table.
Honestly, I ain't got no hard feelings. They might have hard feelings, but
They didn't hurt us.
they didn't hurt us.
No.
You guys kind of awkwardly sit down for a moment. They go and you can see and hear like 7 beers being put down as a waitress comes in with a thing going, all right, I've been told, cheers to the rules of engagement. Whatever that means.
Well,
Can I get you started with anything? Some fellas from a fellow table got you some drinks here tonight.
Oh. No, that's good, thanks.
Well, I'll buy them around too.
All right, then. Mark that down.
So everybody has a round.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what's the most, like, dick move thing that I can order. And I think it would be something crab-related or squid-related. Something seafood.
Yeah, they were pretty nice about that.
Yeah, no need to.
Give them a cheers from us.
Oh, you got it. Does this place serve those? What do you call them? Little fancy onion rings, with the squid in them.
Horse doors? Horse doofs? We have some of those, yeah.
Yeah, send some of them.
I'll give you a moment to think about it. I'll come back with some menus in a few minutes.
Sure.
And
That sounds great.
before I go, do you have a room, or did you want to start a tab under a name?
2.
We got room number 2.
You mean in
yeah.
bunkhouse 2?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the bunkhouse too. That's the one. Oh, I forgot to mention, I got y'all bunks. I hope that's okay.
All right, I'll mark that down. We'll come back in a little moment, okay?
All right, thanks.
And she kind of like wanders off to another table to deal with them, and then you can see after a little while do another table, and then finally going and kind of going, behind the bar.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm glad to see that they're all doing okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we're a few days ahead of schedule.
So it seems.
It would definitely seem so, yes.
Well, we got any business?
Well, got some parts that I'm keeping an eye out for. There's always odd jobs here and there we can pick up, I'm sure.
Maybe the markets. Keep an eye out. I remember you're looking for fancy things.
Yeah.
Shopping list item, fancy things.
If it's got wires sticking out of it, it's a good sign. I probably want it.
You can see Tiana kind of dazing off and goes, "Wonder if they have anything good in the bookstore, or anything bad in the bookstore."
I mean, that's books, eh? You don't really know till you open it up, and
you get a non-committal shrug from Tiana, and she sips a bit of beer.
At that, Crowquill's going to be like, did we ever actually look at that book and try and translate the pamphlet at all?
Oh no, do I have it with you?
I mean, I have all that with me. I mean...
Yeah, take it out. Something to do here on the edge of the table.
Okay.
Because you got a book for like.
I did get a book for it. Yeah. I have the pamphlets and the tablet and a boat. I've kept them all away from sun.
Well, I mean, I don't know why I keep them away. I'm not sailing all the way back to the spire to give it to him.
So you're sitting here at the table. You're all kind of the five of you gathered round. At the far end, there's like Tiana sitting there sketching some things out with like a book open and another like napkin being written on. And there's like a clay tablet and a little bottled ship that's not supposed to exist. And the waitress comes back and looks and goes, "Oh, is that a game? That looks like fun. Anyways, I got your menus here."
Oh, excellent. I'm kind of doing a lean back, like,
I can give you another moment there. Anything I can get you? I'll be back not too long now.
What's like the greasiest thing you got on here?
Well, currently our special is the 10-pound lobster fry. We're running a little bit low on the lobster, but it's fresh, so that's going to be pretty good. Otherwise, we've got the turf and turf, which is a steak-on-steak sandwich. And you can get an extra steak for an extra cup of copper, so keep an eye out for that.
Turf on turf.
You maybe had 10-pound lobster fries. But you boys want to split 10 pounds of lobster?
If there's 5 of you, my personal recommendation, if I'm by myself, I get the triple Trompster combo, but you can get the quintuple Quintompster combo, and that can get you any 5 fried foods in a single platter.
We should have come here a long time ago.
You guys wanted to fill up on those free nuggies.
Whatever you want to do, son.
No, I'm getting a lobster.
A lobster, not the quintuple double apple.
Oh well, listen. If I hadn't had that burger, maybe, but
Well, I bitch it for a quintuple. I mean, they got fried crawdads. I always go for a good fried crawdad.
Okay, sure. I'll also pitch in if you guys want to do that.
Sure.
But you guys want the wings or the sticks?
I'll take the steak.
Yeah.
You kind of grumble, and then after a little while, she goes, "All right, I'll get that started for you," and she wanders off a little bit.
Cool.
Oof. Well,
So Tiana's going through and transcribing this. At this point, she goes, "All right, so it looks like this is the Carnival Express Cruiser themed motel. And this seems to be describing a naval disaster, but I think it's I don't know how useful any of this information actually is.
Well, I mean...
So it was a themed hotel on a boat that sank.
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
3,392 dead, wow. And there's a few other tables nearby that kind of look up a little bit and go back to their meals.
Whew.
A lot of people.
That's must have been a busy night at the hotel.
That's like a bustling city size.
Yeah.
There's a few like drinks that are put down at a nearby table. The Chroma Corps all kind of like wave over at you with some beers.
Cool.
Hey, I give one of them a wave. Well,
after you do and Bilgy does and Tiana does, kind of like the group does, you all take a sip, and communally in the middle of a sip, there's like all right, let me just put this down here. There's like a solid 2-foot wide platter in quintets of different fried foods here. There's some sticks, wings, fried crawdads, onion rings, and squid rings. And the lobster fry should be just a moment there.
no, thanks you so much.
I take a little bit of the squid. Does it have a little bit of wriggle to it? Or is it proper fried?
You have a circle that's fried.
Okay. I was going to say, my intent is to feed it to Warbles a little bit. Give him a little bit of a treat.
Okay, in that case, odds or evens?
Odds. Always. Odd. Got a 3.
Warbles digs into it. There's a little bit, you've done enough magic back and forth with Warbles that there's a bit of, sympathetic magic that builds up. Yeah, that's squid, you think. Yep.
Yeah, I just figured a nice wriggliness would feel like a worm.
You kind of go and you definitely accidentally touched an onion ring. And there's a squid ring. There you go.
Yeah. And then I'll just take a steak to eat.
And you don't worry about it, because COVID isn't a thing.
Yes.
Because this is a fantasy. A fine fantasy.
Hey friends, I don't want to get too
And Will
sentimental.
took out the plagues and pestilence of the older versions of the game, so...
Because it was bloated and it deserved to die in development.
Hey friends, I'm so glad we can all come together and just blast each other with particles.
Man, wouldn't it suck if we couldn't just blast each other with particles whenever we wanted? What's a particle?
Halfway between chewing something with the mouth open, at least within a foot of two different people, Tiana goes, "What now?"
Oh, never mind. Okay, so, I'm trying to keep my voice down, not very subtle, so it kind of comes out like so was there anything that's legal here but illegal elsewhere?
This is something you can say at a full speaking voice because it is roaring in this tavern.
I feel like Son would still try and keep his voice down.
Can I Google...
Can I Google?
Google.
Why did I say Google?
Oh, because that's how you obtain your information these days. In this new
I didn't
modern
even
age.
realize I had said Google until you pointed it out.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom while y'all sit on the word that you think you're gonna say here.
Okay.
Cinema.
Well, my question was
No,
kind of
cinnamon.
So.
That's the word I'm going to say.
I was gonna ask if I could roll either a smuggler or a politics to answer the question.
My assumption, since it's the Freedlands, is that everything is legal here.
Well, I mean, obviously not everything, because they have a lot.
Yes, but from my understanding, the Battle Brew is totally legal. We had the Forest Fire drug is totally legal.
Yeah, great forest fire drug. The gender reveal party drug.
Yeah, the gender reveal party drug was totally legal. There's probably lots of other drugs that are completely legal here, as opposed to the heavily conservative West Marches area. At least I think that's West Marches area. The White Abbey area. What the hell are you eating?
Drugs.
Drugs? Oh, okay, it's Smarties.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring Nestle down. Hashtag waters are not a right.
Well, like, it's Smarties aren't a thing to Americans, right? Like, they have something else.
They have Smarties. Their rockets are called Smarties.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I always forget because the naming schemes are weird.
So as you guys are in the middle of a conversation between what the Torgs call those little powder confectionaries and what the Easterners call the little powder confectionaries, the waitress comes by and goes, "And here's the lobster fry. How's everything tasting?"
Wait, Will, are we the Torgs or are we the fancy people?
Or are we dancer?
You're inserting this into the game, and I don't think you wanted to make that statement.
Or the fancy people.
Okay, so which one is Rockets and which one is Smarties?
Smarties is Rockets called Rockets in Canada. And they're called Smarties in the United States.
And the little powdery candies.
Yeah.
I'll say that here they're Smarties and they're mass produced in those little pill shapes, whereas traditionally they're kind of mashed into a similar shape and put in a tube. It's basically the same thing, but they do call them Rockets over kind of like in like the Eastern Empire and stuff like that.
I see.
Well, it's good. I mean, Rockets makes more sense because you look at them, there's like a little rock, but not quite,
Yeah, they're like Rockettes.
Yeah.
I believe those are pebbles.
No, a pebble. You can't eat it. Quill, have you been eating pebbles?
I have not been eating pebbles. Have you?
Over here, they call them Smarties, but I heard that they were Rockets out east. So can I get anything for anyone? What do we feel like tonight? Or do you need another moment there?
We're good. I'd say taking another bite of steak. Just
yeah,
fine.
If my arteries don't kill me with this lobster fry, I might get back to you on that.
Okay, in that case, I'll check in on you in a little while. Leave you to eat there. Have a good night there for a little while.
Yeah, thanks.
So I'm going to be checking off my shift just in a little bit, but Kent should be coming in later.
Okay.
Oh, well, if you're heading out now, tipping, money. What's the free?
Don't
money?
worry about it. We pool them.
Oh, okay.
Your social awkwardness never ceases to amaze me, son.
Well, it's not social awkwardness. I just wanted to clear up the conundrum.
I didn't realize how much I missed going to restaurants until we leaned into that bit for a fucking half hour. All right, so you guys dig into your food. The lobster fries off to one side. It's nice and fresh. You aren't too far for seafood to be shipped up. I mean, it's really a day's travel aside from unexpected barricades along the road. Same thing with the other seafood there and everything else, like the onions. That stuff grows pretty well here as well. It's all food based on what's available and ready in the area, so it's fresh to plate kind of stuff. Nice and hot. That being said, it isn't anything exquisite. You guys are sailors. If anyone's going to have a refined and varied palate, you guys are the people to have one. Had better. It's definitely had better. But not much better.
I'm just imagining, man, love a potato hot out of the ground.
I was just thinking that too. These onions are so hot right now.
Yeah.
It was nice and fresh, hot, right out of the ground. Love it.
Right out of the dirt.
Meanwhile,
No,
Crowquill is actually like, I could go for a potato. They don't have anything.
We grew potatoes right in our balcony.
This is IRL.
And then IRL, yeah,
Really?
we had a sweet potato go rotten in the pantry.
Yeah, so we threw it in a pot.
We threw it in a pot of dirt and left it on the balcony. And I grew little mini potatoes. The only problem is they were filled with bugs.
They were filled with bugs.
We didn't use any
Frogs from
pesticides or
the
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably came in for the rotten bits and
Stayed
potatoes
for the
being
non-rotten.
potatoes. They didn't need to entirely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't like.
I was gonna eat them.
We weren't like, man, time to grow some potatoes. It's just like, I wonder what would happen if I threw this in a pot.
It was the gardening equivalent of ha unless.
Yeah.
So as you guys are kind of like in the later half of talking about that time Rooker hung some plants off the back of the ship for a couple of weeks, you finished up your plate. She comes back and goes, all right, can I get anything else for you tonight? Maybe some dessert, or should I get the bills?
Oh, just the bill for me, thanks.
Just bills, yeah.
Okay, how did we want to split that, or was it separate, or...
Separate, please.
Well, yeah, I guess Jane's calling it.
Yeah, I mean, just...
Shauna goes like, well, hold on, I mean, Groco, you ate a decent bit of this. I don't want to...
Oh, no, come on now.
I didn't have any of the wings.
You guys agreed to split it. I'm paying for my
You had a
lunch.
decent bit. I definitely had a decent bit of the 5.
Well, yeah, no, just split the combo 5 ways, and I'll pay for my lobster.
Okay, I'll come back in a moment then.
Thanks.
Why is it that, like, anytime anybody's in a restaurant, you're like... They're like, okay, how do you want to split it? And then you always, like, look at each other like...
How are we doing this?
How are we doing this?
The default is individual. You just respond with individual bills.
Until someone orders an appetizer and insists you have one, and then once you've started, you've eaten way too much to get away with not paying.
Yeah.
Or you go to a restaurant as a couple, and then like you and your partner are there, and you're like, okay, and it's like you and your partner and 2 other people, and so you're like, you want to say individual, but it's like, should I get my partner? You know.
And you don't want to be like, I'm sorry, you're not my boyfriend, so...
Yeah.
Well, that's when you pull a sneak. You tell them it's individual, and then you're just like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and you go, and you pay for your partner, and then you come back and pay for yourself. Ultimate sneak.
Moves on.
It's like, man, who pays for dinner in this relationship? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Honestly, yeah, I've had mostly relationships where we're more or less equal on that front. Once you start doing it, it kind of just becomes apparent that it's the best way.
Most of the times, I just get in wars with people overpaying. We become excessively one-upping each other on who's going to pay the bill. Like my uncle, he'll take me out to food sometimes. He'll pay, and I have to like find ways of tricking him so that I can pay, so it doesn't feel like he's constantly treating me. And I love him. I love him to bits for it. But it's so annoying that I can't just pay for food.
It's tough too, because it's that added level of like, from the one side, you want to be like, aha, older relative, I'm flipping the table on this.
Yeah.
Turning that table, flipping the script, check this out. And at the same time, there's the established norm of like, you're my sibling's kid. I got you, kid. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of social tension in that interaction.
Yeah.
And as you guys are kind of sitting there pondering things, she comes back and slides over some bills. Each of your shares is coming out to 2 silver, and then the added lobster fry for Sun is going to come out with the 2 silver you were already paying to 1 silver, 5 copper total.
Okay.
So 3 silver, 5 copper. Or like Sun's total is 3 silver, ours is 2.
Sun is 1 silver, 5 copper. Everyone else is... Wait, what did I say? I've spoken myself into a little knot.
You
You
said
said
5...
2 silver for everybody.
Mhm.
Plus 1 silver, 5 copper for Gabe. So 3
Okay,
silver,
so
5 copper.
3.5 for Gabe, 2 for everyone else.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Nice.
You're left to your own devices in the awkward you have to leave eventually, and we trust you'll get around to it phase.
Have we figured out what's on that tablet?
It's just describing basically the tragedy of the hotel.
Plagueis.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yes.
Yeah, it's just same sad story, you know. Ship gets cursed, and a bunch of people are on it, and they all go down to their watery graves, and then their souls create a waxy spire to monument this, and then that spire gets transported to another dimension through a rift in time and space.
And you can see Tiana like toss a little bundle of napkin to the side and go, and then I accidentally dabbed my mouth on the notes napkin.
Oh.
I didn't get to the tablet anyways. The pamphlet was just more about the disaster. They had redundant hulls, but it punched through all of them.
What punched through all of them?
The spire.
She kind of awkwardly sits there and starts trying to like untangle a bundled napkin. Object? Oh, that can't be right. She starts leafing through the... You get the impression that she's too in deep trying to find the word to really get around to responding.
Well, I think that's enough excitement for one day.
Yeah.
We came, we ate.
Definitely ate.
And tomorrow, I guess tomorrow we'll do all the conquering that we came here to do.
Bill G goes, alright, bunkhouse?
Bunkhouse.
Yeah, son, where was the bunkhouse?
Bunkhouse number 2. It's up on the left.
Okay.
Yeah. You wander out and there's this big open spot. You look, and on the left there's a big number 1. And then directly across the parking lot there's a big number 2. You walk past your wagon. It's still there. Your horses seem fine.
Cool.
Heading up, you go and you make your way into the bunkhouse. You've got your own bunks allotted. You check your tags. They're all next to each other, luckily. You can see a couple people clustered at the other end of the room.
All right. Well. Good night.
I'm actually not going to immediately go to bed. I want to go outside and do some druid shit because it's been a long time since I've been on land. And I want to grow some berries.
All right. Give me a roll.
Okay, that was a decent roll. Let's see, that's 10, and that is 22.
All right, so you're kind of restless, frankly, a little bit, feeling like some dessert, a little bit of regret. You kind of look from side to side as everyone's plonking things down, and you head back outside the bunkhouse. You're heading around the back, and you can see a patch of dirt, and then you can hear like, "Hey, hold on, be gone, you!" "Oh, hello, fellow nature friend. Come on, find dirt. Find dirt. Please, share." There's a fellow druid who's there just kind of like finishing up with his own stuff. "I was just leaving, but well furrowed. Good little bit to the left there is a real good stuff. Have a fine evening." Toddles off. You go in. The dirt's already furrowed, and whatever previous plant has already plunged its roots in to disturb things a little deeper. So it's easy to kind of work with it and get a bit of nutrients out, both shallow and deep. You kind of force out and grow a little bit of... What kind of bush? What berry?
I don't particularly know what types of berries that birds like. I imagine anything edible is good, but I will probably go with a raspberry.
So, raspberries you feel would grow well here. You can also just default to whatever the earth suggests, whatever is kind of native to the land itself.
Let's go raspberry.
All right, you plunge your fingers in. It feels very slightly unfamiliar, but very much almost like a nearby city unfamiliar as opposed to a distant tourist destination unfamiliar. You're pretty sure that somewhere on this continent there's raspberries growing. They grow pretty good, and pluck off a few for a little bit of dessert, a little bit of something later. You guys all head off to bed. It's a supervised bunkhouse. A little bit later, there's a family that are all pretty tired. They're very quiet. They're keeping themselves quiet, but they still kind of bump around for a little while. Very late at night, there's a bunch of drunks who are really loud for a very, very brief period of time, then they all pass out.
Chelsea, what the hell was that? I can't let that go. I was looking over, and you're just looking at Gabe going like, and then he did this. Like, you were in your full-on actor voice, but you weren't saying anything. You were just doing that.
I was muted. We were muted.
You pulling some content?
It was...
well, not to shame Chelsea, but you can tell it's bad because the tips of her ears are turning red.
I won't press further. Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit not safe for work.
Ah, gotcha. Something that Reggie wrote about. Gotcha.
Normally, I'd be the one horning up the session, but a little.
It was just so like.
So Gabe's the one who goes to horny jail on mic. Chelsea's the one who goes to horny jail off mic.
Off mic, so that it's not recorded forever.
Yeah.
So there's no evidence for the trial that brings you to horny jail.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can't convict me of anything. You have no proof.
So you kind of like wrestle around like, can't convict me of anything. You have no proof. You're awake in the bunkhouse.
Roll over. Think about nearby cities.
There's a bit of grumbling, and then the family all start getting up. And they're still, you can obviously tell they're doing their best to be quiet, but yep, you're awake now.
Oh, don't mind us. We're all sailors. We're used to hustling and bustling. Go, 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 you know.
You get a very polite, but also like, I am so sorry, I'm so tired too, kind of look.
Don't talk to him, Timmy. Don't make eye contact.
All right, you guys eventually gather all your things, get together, and you're out here on the city again. It's dawn, early-ish morning. People are starting to get cozy, get ready, get moving about. You weren't able to see it from the balcony. You could see there was probably a spot where it was. There was a tower with some light, but now that it's proper early morning daylight, you can see the rookery very clearly on the other side of town.
Well, I say first thing first. Let's secure our cargo and we've got the rest of the day to see the sights.
Yeah.
Buy some books.
Well, shouldn't we maybe do that at the end of the day as we're leaving?
I'm not one to shirk work. Oh, I don't like it. I love shirking work.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm shirking.
Yeah, shirking. Shirk. It's when you're working, but you're shirking the work. Like you take the work and you go, I don't want to do that work, and you shirk it off.
And you shirk it. Instead of working, you're shirking.
Exactly. You're shirking the working.
Yeah.
Anyhow, if you want to keep me accountable, I'll keep you accountable, and eventually we'll get there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. I think we should do it as we're leaving. Go to the rookery.
Makes sense to me.
There's some non-committal shrugs, and you guys clatter on towards the other side of town. You make your way down that initial kind of rise into the middle of that valley. You can see as you're going down that there's a few farms and plots on the outskirts of town, but really a lot of the areas around here are workshops and big open spaces where people have put down markets, where people have established warehouses. You actually wind your way through the market as you're on your way through, and you can hear people hustling and bustling. You guys don't see it based on the location where things are and kind of the fluttering of tent flaps, but Croakwill, you can identify something a lot more thumpy than a tent flap. It sounds like a sail.
A sail? Are they building a boat here? Wouldn't they build it closer to water? I mean, they are pretty close to water.
It's a few meters away past, you think, maybe 2 sets of market stalls. You have a direction.
I'm curious.
Well, it wouldn't make any sense to build a boat out here. It's not even like they got any real logging out here.
And doesn't that intrigue you?
Might be where all the parts are, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough.
You awkwardly kind of move further away, and then uncomfortably further away, and then past a corner, and then back, and then around another corner, and you're there. You can see there's this big... It's a monstrosity, and you presume it works based on the way it's built, but it was obviously meant to be some kind of builder's, like, cocky statement of prowess. There's this big wagon-sized thing. It's like a single-masted boat, and on the sails you can see printed is like Salisbury sails. And it's like a wagon boat that seems to be able to sail itself on land. And around it you can see there's crates and barrels and people talking and a bunch of sailorly types kind of roughing around.
Well, it looks like a boat wagon of sorts. They don't put a sail on a wagon or wheels on a boat. Or
you can overhear a few people talking nearby, kind of like, "Oh yeah, I was looking for something, maybe gaff rig. If I could adapt the mast, of course, but I would need the adapter and the 3/6 inch." "Oh yeah, well of course, with the right size sail, we could make that happen. Because you were saying it's a 22-footer, right?" And you can hear some kind of other boat jargon going on.
Will, you took my joke.
Did I snipe you?
No, the Salisbury sail is the same as Salisbury snake, which is why I named Salus. That's why I named him Salisbury.
Which is why you should go back and check out our early work at youtube.com/Mr. Croden.
Well, check out our early work. It's our first few episodes were trial and error, emphasis on the error.
You know,
check the thumbnails. You can tell when we get better.
I would like to roll politics to think about the climate of the Freedlands. It's like kind of a desert once you get out there, eh?
I would roll science, but yeah, go for it.
Okay. And I'm specifically trying to think, is there even enough wind out here to power something like this reliably? And I got a 6.
You're not really sure. It would probably wind and twist through the valleys, maybe in an open high desert, which you know is further out somewhere. Either way, you look it over and it seems... You get, from a mechanical perspective, the impression you should use only the word functional. It is a functional machine.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's kind of like... Nearby in a checkered suit, there's a George that kind of goes, "Taking a look at the old display model there."
I mean, yeah, no, I'm looking at it, seeing it, observing it even.
Wacky sort of nonsense construction for display, but believe it or not, she works. That's why we got any plucks, and you can see there's some ropes and sandbags actually holding this thing to the ground.
Oh, he's demonstrating that he's had to anchor it so that the...
Gabe's gone.
Oh, there goes Gabe.
Ah! I lean to Croakwill and I say, "Oh, he's just demonstrating that he needs to anchor it down lest the winds take it away."
Yes, I did get that.
There's Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
Hello. No, I'm not saying that this thing wouldn't work. Not what I'm saying at all. I just... Wouldn't a horse be a little more reliable and easier and more sort of directional? And
the guy kind of chuckles and goes, "Hey, yeah," and he claps a hand on your back and goes, "Well, of course, but it wouldn't sell sails so good. So, you happen to be sailors? We sell general boat supply merchandise if you happen to be looking for any expansions, customizations, and we happen to have a few selected retailers if you're curious about getting purchases."
Well, now that you mention it.
Tell you what, if you'd like, we happen to have a catalog if you want the talking type. Otherwise, I'd love to talk your ears off about the various models and modifications we're capable of making. Here at Salisbury Sales, we are a custom builder. We like to make things on commissions, but we have a few modification parts available for quick swaps.
Yeah, probably the catalog.
Perfect. Right on the table over there.
This poor guy.
You can hear him literally as you're kind of like chuckling, like, "Hello there! Take a look at the old display ball, Wally." He wanders off to try and make another sale.
Whew.
Yeah, so here you can see this is a ship supply kind of station. There's a few different things you can add onto the ship. There's a bunch of them you discard out of hand. Wouldn't fit, wrong size, too big, too small, not useful. And you get to a few of them. You could probably swap out some sails or even change your full-on sail plan. There's also, it looks like there's a custom figurehead for sale here right now, a custom-built one. And there's a few things you could do to tweak up your deck.
Oh, we gotta change our deck. We have to make our deck look way bigger than it already is.
Well,
Do we?
oh yeah, no.
It's intimidation, right? Like,
yeah, big deck energy.
Yeah, you want to have big deck energy.
You do want to have a big deck.
So you're looking over, and it looks like for 2 gold, you're able to get a tent that, based on its dimensions, would be framed for probably like the prow and steering section on the back of the boat. For 4 gold, you can get the same thing, but it's an actual shingled roof that'll be installed.
Huh.
Elchi's looking over, and he highlights a bit of sections saying that they're willing to do delivery up to a number of ports, and he motions to one of them. That's the village that your ship is docked at.
Well,
Cool.
you guys have fun looking it over. I am gonna go run my gambit. I'm gonna walk back.
All right.
All right.
Shingled roof. That'd be cool on a rainy day, you know? You don't have to...
Yeah. Do they got anything here in terms of... God, I just hate having to go get a crane, you know? Would they be able to rig something up where we could, like... Maybe a bigger cargo ramp or something? I'm flipping through the catalog.
You're flipping and looking through. You see that there's a... You're looking it over, and as you're sitting there, you're going, "Oh, I wouldn't buy this. Oh, that's way overpriced. Oh, and it's broken. Oh, and I can do better." And you figure out that you could probably make an equivalent to this that's basically like an elevator that goes from the like lower deck to the upper with a crank.
Yeah. I mean, a roof would be nice. Do they have anything in way of like? I'm thinking like battlements. You know, if you're out on deck and someone starts shooting at you, you have some like actual cover beside just like a railing.
You can see that they have a few different adapter kits that are built basically as like sets of panels that you like slide on to the rails on the side for extra cover. It should be something you could bolt out pretty easily. For 1 gold, you're able to get railing cover.
Ooh.
What do you think about that, Jane?
Yeah! Railing cover. I like it.
Yeah, it's not a...
Why not
There's a
get some
few
shit
models,
while we're at it? It's
and
only
let's say that
4
you
gold.
find what you're looking for. What's the look that your railing cover is going to be like? Is it more of like a castle squares? Is it more of like a Viking longship circles? Is it a bunch of like...
The problem is
slots?
if you're asking Sun, it's a piece of metal that is perfectly functional. So maybe that should be like a Jane decision.
What do I think looks the least stupid?
So you and Sun are locked in fierce debate as opposite sides of a dialectic coming to an inevitable conclusion. Both of you look it over and go back and forth until eventually you find one that's basically like like a higher, nice, smooth, rounded edge kind of plank. It'll be a neutral wood, but it helps with kind of the pre-existing siding of your boat.
I like it.
Looking it over, you also see that they have a few adapters. If you wanted to switch to gaff or Bermuda rigging, you'd be able to do so.
What would be the benefit of that, Will?
Yeah, please enlighten us.
Because I have a feeling you have stats.
So you're sitting there going, well, what's the... And you're kind of speaking to each other like, well, I don't know what that means. What is Bermuda even? Well, let me tell you. Checker suit guy is nearby.
Ooh.
You're looking at the Bermuda and you're looking at the rigging versions, would you? What kind of ship are you looking to adapt here?
I give him details. I don't actually know the details.
I believe we have 2 sails.
So, well, you're sitting there, son, being like, all right, well, we got there's a rotating post, repeating, drop, reloading, and like our salesman is already tuning things out, and Jane comes in and goes, 2-masted schooner. 2-masted schooner, of course. Well, if you're working with the typical standard, and you guys are working with the typical standard on the larger side, right, so the 32, all right. Well, we're able to get you with a Gaff and Genua switch. Genua? How do you say that? You would recognize it as Genoa. Right. Sorry, it doesn't translate well. And then the other one's a Bermuda Spinnaker combo. This guy knows more about installations, and he's more of a salesman, but you guys as sailors know intuitively this stuff a little bit better. Currently, you have a square rig, which means basically it's your bog standard old school stuff. There's nothing you can do to give yourself an extra boost or added maneuverability in different situations, just big sail, point in direction, not the most maneuverable, not the least maneuverable. You're a reasonably decent ship. If you switch to gaff rigging, you'll have something called a Genoa sail that complements it. It's an added one. Basically, the gaff rigging is like, instead of a square sail where it's a post and a T and it hangs down like a big square, this one's a post and something that comes out, and then it's a big square that hangs down like that.
Okay.
So it leans out from the side of the ship, and then the other one would do so as well, and you have jibs that kind of counteract that force. So with the gaff and Genoa, you're discussing amongst yourselves. This one's going to be like the optional. It's going to be basically the midpoint between this and the Bermuda Spinnaker option. Currently, your square rig is more or less maneuverable with some big ups and downs. Both of the options you have to choose from, you'll basically have a less effective but more versatile set of sails that can be expanded to make your ship more powerful in like nice, clean, easy winds and good conditions kind of thing.
All right.
When you make your way up to the Bermuda, it's a lot more versatile than the Genoa. It's really good upwind or crosswind. It's not the best downwind, but the Spinnaker really compensates for that and gives you almost like a downwind rocket, but it's a lot of force, which means you have to be a little bit touchy with it. You don't want to really be fooling around with it in combat. The Bermuda and Spinnaker combo goes up to 15 gold. On the back end, I know that I'm rolling for you guys on the GM side, but basically, if you're moving against the wind, like upwind, I'm usually rolling a d6. If you're moving across it, you've got 2, and then with the wind, you're going to 3. If you've got the Bermuda and the Genoa, you don't actually get any numerical increases. They kind of just differentiate based on angle, but when you add the added sails, they give you an additional one, so you can get up to +4 with the gaff and up to +5 with the Bermuda. But with the Bermuda, with that massive bonus, also like the second that you're in bad weather, or if you're not against the wind, or if you have to be maneuverable, like if you're in a fight, you have to take down the sail and you lose a lot of speed.
No, we're in combat all the time. We gotta be maneuverable. And never really do we care about getting to places very quick.
The Genoa sail might work in our favor.
Yeah, Genoa sail sounds pretty good. Sort of a balance. Although I am a little siding a little bit here with Jane. I think a current sail is doing mighty fine.
How much was the Genoa sail?
So it'd be 10 gold to switch to the gaff and Genoa. You would need to switch the sail to switch the other sail to make sure it's all balanced. It's got to be one cohesive system that works with the shape of your ship. That being said, if you did want to stick to your square rig, you can get a new set of sails with a new color combo for 5 gold. It would come included with the other packages.
Oh, new color combo.
New color combo, you say?
Or patterns, or logos, or lettering, or anything.
Just think of it. Kanye and the Sun. Free advertising. Well, 5 gold advertising.
Yeah, 5 gold advertising.
It's not bad, though. It's not bad. I'm not here. I'm running my gambit, but these are the things that Crowquill will say afterwards.
Yeah, we need to be discreet.
I'll say that based on where you are, Crowquill is able to find a spot very, very close to the salesman. There's enough space around here, especially because this is like sailboat parts and there's a lot of open space, that you're able to really quickly find a niche for a small like fortune-telling table. Speaking of which, I just say this so it's reasonable for Crowquill to turn around and chime something in between customers. Want to give me a ritual roll?
Okay. That's better than my performance rolls, so yeah. Happy to. That is 10, that's 23.
All right. So with the 23, you're looking around and trying to drum up some sales. It's early morning, so it's really a rough market for this kind of stuff. That being said, after like sort of flailing around trying to find somebody, you can find someone who's obviously eyeing the boat stand and then comes in being like, what's my financial future? Or maybe I'll travel or adventure, or could I live a mercantile life? And you very quickly put 2 and 2 together and you're able to spin a yarn and keep going and push and, well, I've been going on for a while and there's other customers unless you want to put a few silver down. And you're able to get 2 silver and 3 copper out of her until she finally goes, thank you. I think you're right. I'm ready, but only mostly ready, and I should wait at a time that's balanced between the risky option and the safe option that's somewhere in between. Thank you.
Nice.
Just go. I did good today. By the way, Will, this salesman is wearing a checkered shirt, right?
Yep.
And he's sleazy-ish.
Yep.
Would you say that the boat was rigged from the start?
Roll ritual.
Okay. Oh, that's... Wow, that is a terrible roll. Oh, boy. That's a 16.
With a 16, you can tell that suit's unlucky from a mile away.
I just like to point out, I rolled 3 1s and a 3.
Nice.
What kind of bonus are you adding onto that?
Plus 10.
Ooh, maxed.
I am the master of magic, except for when it comes to alchemy, because I don't do that shit.
Don't do that shit.
We're really maxing even within the maxing. Not even all magic. Maxing within the maxing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I kind of like the roof idea. It seems cute, you know? Little roof. When it's raining, you don't have to get rained on if you're standing at the wheel.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, throw a roof on there on that order.
So
we haven't made an order yet.
It's 2 gold with the tented version, 4 gold with the shingled version, and
Shingled
10
version
gold for the gaff rigging and Genoa sail.
Shingled version is way cuter.
Oh god, yeah. Crowquill is definitely putting in the voice for the shingled roof.
It's worth saying, to counteroffer, the tent roof can also match the sail pattern.
We don't need a sail pattern. We need to be discreet.
There's a certain amount of matching before it becomes too much matching. Like, wearing a black shirt is great, but wearing black shirt, black pants, black hat, black socks, black shoes, you're a little bit too much on that.
Are you calling out goth? Are you calling out goths?
No, because
goths, sharp dressed man from that description.
Can splash silver, they can splash red, they can splash white. They got a whole bunch of stuff that they can splash in on that. They don't have to be all black.
Red shoes, black tie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just
Every girl's
stripes.
crazy
Get
about
out
a
of
dark
here.
dressed man.
All right, so yeah, what are you guys looking at?
Oh, so could I get a rundown of the rigging again? What's the difference between the rigging that you're talking about and the rigging we currently have?
So currently, you have a square rig.
Square rig. Standard.
Yeah, it's reasonably good downwind. It's really not that good upwind. It's okay with crosswinds, and there's not really a lot you can do based on how your sails are set up. Like, you can't really min-max much more than what you already have. If you switch to the gaff rigging and the Genoa, you're going to have more maneuverability, like sort of crosswind and upwind, and a little bit less downwind. So really, with what you're saying in terms of like, if we get rid of this random bonus sail and get into a fight, the gaff rigging is probably going to be the most versatile in that sense. And then when you add the Genoa sail, basically it compensates for what you lack downwind, but not as much as the Spinnaker would. For 15 gold, instead of a 10, you go up to Bermuda rigging and a Spinnaker, where basically you have really good upwind and kind of okay crosswind, but bad downwind. And then the Spinnaker is just a big ballooning downwind sail that you can use to counteract that.
So it's basically if we want to be real fast but gimped in a fight.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm fine staying with square rigs, or we can go for the gaff. I don't like the Spinnaker.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think we're sticking with the square sail. I mean,
if we were a
blowing
purely
all my resources.
mercantile ship, I would say probably, definitely, but
Bilgi is pushing for the gaff rigging. Tiana is siding with the gaff rigging in a very influenceable, I don't care that much kind of way.
Yeah. I'm sort of with Tiana on that. Like, gaff rigging sounds good. It sounds like an upgrade to what we currently have.
My objection to the gaff rigging isn't a sort of a sailor one or a aesthetic one. It's purely a financial one.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem.
Says Crowquill.
Says Crowquill.
Fucking richest person in the world.
Actually, yeah, do you have 10 gold?
I have 22 gold, Will.
Yeah, so you can literally just go loud clunk, 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 clunk. That's for the gaff rigging and the Genoan sail. Plink, 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 and that should be the wood roof. And hold on, what was that? Oh, what's that you say? And you slide over and go, well, if we're feeling a little bit generous, there's clunk, 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 clunk. We could put down 6 gold for the 4 fixed bunks. Or
fixed bunks.
Fixed. Oh.
And there's a sliding of a gold off. Maybe the figurehead of a decapitated giant.
That's a little bit much.
Well, that one feels a bit like appropriation. You know, I don't.
Also, I don't like that idea because I don't get any benefit out of it. I don't see it. I don't know what we currently have on it.
Tiana kind of like chuckles and goes, also appropriation. Kenny Need lost his second leg in the war.
Was that war against the giants?
Fixed bunks. Fixed
Yeah,
bunks.
he was part of the Navy.
Oh, I always thought that was the different war. Huh.
No, the first one was from birth. The second one was in the Navy.
I'll put okay. Let's do wood roof gaff rigging.
And I am going to point out that I'm not paying for all of this.
No, we're all going to put some money in.
like I know I am the richest character, but you guys don't know how much money I have.
That's true. No,
I just imagine that there's a lot of like flashing and clinking.
Yeah, no. Let's get those 3. How much would those 3 be altogether?
The gaff rigging, the fixed bunks, and the figurehead?
Not the figurehead.
Sorry. Not the figurehead, the fixed bunks, the wood roof, and the gaff rigging?
Yes.
20 gold even.
20 gold even.
And then there was also the side rampart thing.
Yeah, it's going to be 21 gold. If we're including a bit of extra cover for,
oh, right.
to get in the fight.
Gilkey puts down 2 gold, and then Tiana puts down 4 gold, so it's 15 gold between the rest of you.
15 gold between us 3?
Crowquill puts down 10.
Okay.
So 2.5 gold, so 2 gold, 5 silver each.
2 gold, 5 silver. Do you have 2 gold, 5 silver?
I have 4 gold and silver.
I'll put down I'll put down 4 gold so that you only have to pay a gold. Because you're buying stuff. I'm not buying anything.
All right then. I appreciate it.
Crowquill's mostly in it for the sake of the 1, fixed bunks, because that sounds awesome.
Oh yeah.
And also 2, shingled roof, because that sounds awesome. So really the 10 gold that she put down was the 6 gold for the fixed bunks and the 4 gold for the shingles. Everything else is superfluous. She does not care.
Fixed bunks. Woo!
Fixed bunks.
Now, friends, the salesman leans back in. He goes, now that you've already gone over our 20 gold threshold, we do offer ship painting for free.
Ooh.
Ship painting. Ooh.
Or you could go for a different style. And, of course, I hate to overhear, but I heard you said you didn't want to be too notable. And, of course, we could keep with some simple, more generic aesthetics if you wanted to change a color scheme.
Tell me, have you had some people come around that just wanted a rainbow painted on their sails?
Oh, the Chroma Corps! Yes, I've contracted to them a few times, actually.
Good people.
Nasty
Good
dudes.
people.
I heard they got ripped off by an employer recently.
Oh,
Most unbecoming of a
that's
high-born
unfortunate.
noble.
Sucks.
Well, no, I don't.
They should really pick their
claim to
work
be-
better.
Yeah, I don't claim to be privy to their business dealings, but something tells me they need to get the job done.
Anyway,
Brian.
we do we want ship painting? What do we want, boys? What thoughts?
How many sails are there in
point-
particular, Will?
Okay, so currently you have 2 sails. You have the main mast, and then there's a foremast. There's a jib, which is going to be like a counteracting sail, a smaller one. And then the optional one you add on when you're doing a full speed with the wind is a Genoa sail, and that's going to be a different sail.
I'm more wondering about their positions, because my mind immediately went to, we're painting sails, let's do 2 eyes and a mouth.
Hold on. Let me just get this in front of the camera here, see if I can do that as best I can.
Yeah, a little bit back and a little
Oh.
bit down. A little bit down.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, nice. Well
Nice.
done.
That is a sketch of a boat.
That is a sketch of a boat. Okay, we're
Currently,
good.
your ship's design for the hull is red below the waterline where the ship bleeds and white above.
Well, I mean, feel like something classy, like maybe an animal or a specific size of socket wrench.
Crowquill pipes up, how about a crow?
Well, I do admire your consistency.
It's a look, it's an aesthetic.
Well, I mean, you got good aesthetic sense. I'll give you that.
How about a bucket, because we're the Bilgewater?
Oh, that's fun. That's kind of fun.
The salesman, as always, is edging his way into your conversation and goes, how about this? A white sail for your main mast, the big one, nice and clean, easily replaceable. For your foremast, white sail with a black crow holding a red bucket. And then your jib and Genoa are nice and red to match your ship paint.
Match the bucket, yeah.
Love it.
I like
10 out
that.
of 10. Let's do it.
I do like the crow holding a bucket. Sort of, that's almost like a metaphor of some sort, you know.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
You're a fortune teller. You know all about metaphor.
I mostly rely on simile.
Oh, well, you well, let me just say that is like a stick up your own ass.
Good simile. Good simile.
Thanks.
All right. So you guys hash out some details. You tell them which village it is. After a little while, they kind of discuss like, "Oh, so where are we sending it? How are they going to know? Oh, well, how?" And then there's a bit of grumbling, and then Bill G gets a few of you to like write a note with him, and then you pass along, so that by the time they get there, they're going to have an explanation for Ken and Ye and Rutger, who are still on the ship.
A bunch of people show up with a bunch of supplies and are just like, "We were hired to make modifications to your ship."
Yeah.
And Ken and Ye is just like, "Excuse me, the fuck you don't?"
All right. Well, from here, you can see the rookery, like further ahead, other side of this sort of like valley between the two buildings. You can still see the tavern head on top of this big statue looking over at you. Now that it's the daylight, you can see that there's this big toppled giant head in the middle of its lap. It's been clearly cracked off by some amount of force. There's a few things you could probably poke around with here in the market. You can hear some chatting around, and you can hear the grinding of metal on metal around the resource bins.
Well, I'm gonna go look to see if there's any, dwarven scavenge. Scavenges?
You're looking around place to place. You can see a few. One of them is like fresh dwarven. No. This one's gears made to. No. Here we go. Scaver's choice. And you look around, and it's this big. There's bins and bins, and a few people looking around, making sure people don't pilfer things. But after you make your way in, there's someone going, "Hey, welcome to Scaver's choice. You kind of look through."
Yeah. Yeah, got any all right then.
Make sure to stop by the door on your way out. We'll make sure we got what you got. Mark you down. Check you out. Should be good.
You make it sound a lot more aggressive than it needs to be. Sounds like I'm getting shaken down here. Yeah, I'm just looking for anything with wires sticking out of it. God, that image. Oh, I hate it.
So you move to the first bin. You're kind of like picking pieces apart, tossing them aside. You see a bit of wire, and you pull, and it's... No, that can't be right. You toss it aside. Pull. Looks like it might be some kind of magic wand, but no, there's a panel missing. None of this is useful. You toss it aside. And then you hear somebody talking nearby and go, "It's not worth the money if we have to refurb it. Leave it be." "Oh, come on, that's a perfectly good alternator." "Nah, leave it." And there's a clunking in a nearby bin.
One man's trash is another man's useful trash.
You pick up a useful bit of trash.
Ooh.
So you're given this an initial assessment. This is a recoil alternator. It's something that you need for your idea.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, you've been in a lot of scrap bins as Son, right? Like your character has been through places like this, like time and time again.
Oh yeah, I was the syndicates. Like I was trained. I grew up in the trash bin.
He's got an eye for trash.
Yeah, this is a diamond in the landmine. Not only is this something that's really useful for you, they're not going to charge you for this. This is trash to them too.
Ooh.
So you got
anything? Is there anything like I'm looking for the shiniest thing here? Like I don't know, some sort of, something that's been machined down to a nice polish, or like dwarven shiny. Not like we're making jewelry, but like this part needs to be exact, precise, machined. That means it's shiny as hell, and we're dwarves, so it's shiny.
So you're making your way past. You see one bin that's all dwarven steel, but all these are really nicked up and dinged. You make your way to another one. It's vintage. No, you make your way to a bin that's choice parts, and this one's been whittled down quite a bit. It's mixed. Like a lot of them are fresh steel. Some of them are like ancient Elvish. You pick out a few nice bits of well-polished, like well-maintained old dwarvish steel that you could probably melt down if you needed to.
Perfect. Okay, I'm taking him to the door, to the cash man, and... Hey, cash man, how much cash do I gotta give you, man?
So you're turning around, holding all this stuff, heading over to the cash man, and you thump your toe on something. You look down and you see... Oh, damn, that's a dwarven battery.
Oh, damn.
I'm
scooping that up. So,
you got, have you ever seen, well, really a marine battery is about the same, like a marine battery or a boat battery or a car battery?
Oh, yeah, sure. Like, this thing's big. This thing's, like, smaller than a bread box, but bigger than bread.
So you got this big, obscenely, like, way heavier than it needs to be for its size and the size of an ammo box thing tucked under one arm. You're carefully carrying this big assembly of rusted out parts that are kind of hanging, clanging off each other in one hand. With the other hand, with kind of nothing to carry, you've got like one big shiny piece of steel. You make your way up and go, all right, clunk, 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 towards the way station. So, the guy, that's yours. All right, the alternator takes the piece of steel. He goes, yeah, believe that's... calculates something. You can see he's got an old, like, rewired dwarven calculator. Clink, clink, clink. Goes, that should be... What are you looking for this part for? Or are you looking for an idea from the junk?
Sorry, for the shiny parts?
Yeah. Are you looking for inspiration from the shiny part? Like
No. I'm looking for something to give to Crowquill's Crow.
Ah, okay.
Because crows like shiny things.
So you pick through, and there's this really well-maintained number 2 screw. So this isn't really worth much. It's more of a curiosity, but it's glimmering. And this is all dwarven brass steel, so this stuff doesn't tarnish. Like, it does tarnish. You constantly have to rub the tarnish off, but it won't tarnish for 1,000 years, kind of thing. And you have to go 3,000 years of tarnish. So he goes, yeah. Honestly, just one. Don't worry about it. And, right. So normally I'd go 5 gold, but we've been... I mean, you know about the whole crystal thing, so I'm going to go 2 gold because this one's dead. So yeah, just 2 gold if you got it.
Yeah, I got that. I certainly do. Here you go. I give him the 2 gold.
Happy junkin'.
Made off like a bandit.
Anytime you open up the Google Doc, it's like so bright.
Yeah.
Switch that shit to dark mode.
Yeah.
So, for the battery, this is one that you actually got at a deal. You make 5 gold of progress as well as 5 gold of final cost. That being said, the alternator is different. This one needs refurbishing, so you don't add to the progress, you just add the 5 gold to final cost.
Okay.
So what would this leave you at in terms of progress?
In terms of progress, let me just go in here. That's 27 plus 5.
My eyes.
My eyes.
Okay, that's 37.
It's not bright to me, but it looks so bright. Like in
current value
contrast on the
is-
webcam.
Yeah.
So that actually bumps me to 47% finished.
All right. And Kenny would work in your absence, right?
Probably. Kenny Yates his own dude, but yeah.
What's your
Nothing stopping
role?
him. Sorry, what's my
Like, if you're the crafter, what's your role?
role as the crafter? Like if I do a craft roll?
Like 46 plus blank, what would that calculation be?
That would be 4d6 plus 7.
Okay, so 46 plus 5 is Kenenye's if you want to do 4 rolls for him for the previous day you spent dealing with the stuff at the crossroads.
I imagine Rooker was probably so fucking bored. Because just like Jacques being like, well, I might be downstairs. And then Rooker being like, guess I'll stay up here until I have to make food.
Meanwhile, everyone else is like, I wonder what Rooker does when he's not dealing with all of us. Must be so bored. And Rooker's sitting there listening to quiet filing happening beneath the ship on a crate at the edge of the docks, just kind of like painting nails, like thumbing through a book with a cup of tea.
That's relaxing.
But like, I thought he might want to like try out a recipe or something like that, but he has like no one to talk to. It's just us. Like,
I assure you, this is. I hope Mom isn't bored when we aren't home.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean, Will. My mom loves me.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
All right.
She loves you.
All right, so you guys finished up your business. There's not much else to take care of in the markets unless you're seeking out anything else. All that's left is the rookery.
All right. Let's get a rook on. You know what I'm saying? And as I go to Crowquill, I keep forgetting what's that crow's name again? Warbles. I say, hey, Warbles, catch, and I go, ping.
Does Warbles go for it?
I don't know. I guess it's up to you.
This is Will. This is going to Will.
You hear the ping, and you don't hear a catch, and then Warbles wrestles on your shoulder and like nudges something metallic and cold against you.
I am going to grab it and immediately feel its length, and I'm sure Warbles is constantly telling me how shiny it is.
This is a screw? Like medium size. You don't know what medium size means, but like definitely a medium size.
Oh, good. Something sharp that's just long enough for him to swallow.
Oh, no, it's not sharp. It's blunt. I got one big enough. He ain't going to swallow it. It's a decent enough size.
As you're holding on to it, Warbles is transfixed, and not in an obsessive, bothering way, just kind of a watching way.
I'm actually going to like close my hand up and pocket it and just be like, thanks, son. This will actually come in handy getting his attention later.
Oh yeah, no, it's dwarven brass. They made him shiny back then.
All right, so you guys pack up your things, get everything ready, double check all your information to make sure everything's going where it needs to go, and all right, here you go. You wander off towards the rookery. You make your way past a few obscenely large columns, past a few apartment buildings and buildings built between the columns, and eventually you have to make your way around a winding and winding and winding staircase until you get to the top of one of these big sequences of pillars. As you're looking out here, like there's a what's the word I'm looking for? There's a span atop the column that you're able to walk towards, and at a corner there's the rookery itself. Here, this is architecture that dwarfs you immensely, so it's almost the lane, like the size like a 4-lane highway, and you're really just awkwardly walking along a big open span of flattened marble. Here and there's some wagons that have stopped, there's some people that have set up camp here, sort of peering out over the city. As you get closer, there's a brief moment where you're like, wow, I can see everything, and you get a little closer and you go, oh god, and you get a little further.
I don't have that feeling.
You feel the edge and don't think much of it and stay away from the edge.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're don't gotta fear heights, I'll give you that.
Well, when you're flying around as a bird for half your day.
You can hear like a caw, 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 and then Crowquill goes, ah, ah, and you can hear all the crows, and Warbles goes off to mingle with them for whatever sort of interaction.
Be
You reach the
careful.
rookery.
He's probably telling him about that shiny screw he got.
As you make your way
Don't go
in,
to any stranger's house.
you hear a distant, almost rebellious teenage squawk. As you make your way into the rookery, you make your way past a few people. You get to a desk. Hi, is there anything I can help you with?
We're here for package.
Sending, receiving.
Receiving a package. I give them like the information we have.
Well, technically, we're receiving a package to send.
Oh, sea shipping. All right, shit. I gotta be honest with you. But do you need a day off, or are you ready for some shit?
Oh, we're ready for some shit.
All right, door number 2. Get ready.
Okay.
Was it like a bad smell, or?
I go to door number 2. I don't ask.
As you say there's a bad smell, there's a chuckle from the rooker as he goes towards his next customer, kind of about to end his sentence, and he goes, "Tell you one thing, it stinks." As you open your...
That's just about the vaguest thing he could have said.
There's an acknowledging chuckle as you make your way through door number 2. Inside, there's a bunch of rookers and shippers talking. They all quiet. You look up, there's a few of them in their robes and masks, and there's a number of other people, kind of rough and tumble sailory types like yourselves. A few of them looking more cowboyish, wagon drivers, stuff like that. For a brief moment, they go, "Identification?"
I give them the identification.
You slide out your papers you were given when you signed up.
Senior
They
wagon
look them over and go, "Oh, good, okay. You guys get the information, or are you just walking into a scene of people looking scared?"
Just walking into it. We haven't gotten any information.
Oh, is that fear? Sorry, y'all wearing the masks.
All right. Johnson, do you want to... One of the rookers nods and pulls you away from the rest of the group as they return to their discussions. The rooker pulls you aside and goes, "Okay, here's the situation. There's been a break-in at the Ravensrook General Rookery. They took all the encoding documents. That means they got the encryption keys, and they got the localized encryption reference documents."
Nice.
Oh, that ain't good.
Yeah. So basically, we have a work stoppage for safety reasons due to anonymous messaging and not wanting to deal with unsafety unless someone wants to be a badass, I guess, and assist on the most dangerous run in 50 goddamn years.
Ooh, well, oh,
I know,
hang on
right?
a second. Let me just... And I take my shotgun, and I, like, specifically unload it, and then put a round in there, and then go... I'm like, hang on, and then take the bullet back out.
It's bad to have it loaded up like this.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be cool.
Yeah,
All the truckers kind of look at you a little bit bewildered, and the guy goes, "Are you sure this? They want to get all this stuff to, like, all the rookeries down the East Coast. It would be like a month at sea, and the entire time they have a barge bringing this stuff down, and they basically want you to keep heat off of them. This is going to be dangerous. Like, if you want to, they need you. You're in Bloodcrag, but
Hell yeah.
otherwise, you have my blessing. Go and take a few sick days."
No, listen. We got Jane here. That's not even her real name. She's a crack shot with a crossbow. We got Crowquill here. She's got a crow and best damn.
I flipped the senior wagon inspector identification.
Okay, well, and most
Guy
important,
doesn't look. He acknowledges. Keeps going.
most importantly,
Well, if you guys have got the qualifications, you're more than welcome to try.
Oh, yeah.
I can check this down. Hold on. He goes back to a desk, pulls something out. He goes back to you, grabs the table. He ushers you towards the desk as he fills out some paperwork. Goes, "Yeah, I can get you off your scheduled pickup if you want to go and do that, but it's your funeral."
listen,
Sounds good, man.
listen, you kind of cut me off right before I was getting to the meat and potatoes here. You're hiring Conan and Son, the best damn munition experts this side of the... What's something far away here, Jane?
Sign us up, dude. I'm ready to go.
This side of the plane.
This side of the mortal plane. Thanks, Will. There ain't nothing we've seen that we ain't be able to blow out of the water. I think we'll do just fine.
The guy gives you a little... You can see kind of a... You don't hear a chuckle. There's a shrugging that you figure might be some kind of smirk from behind the mask, and goes, well, if you do this, you'll earn your masks and you'll earn the reputation to go with that name.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I didn't realize you could like earn them. I thought y'all just kind of had them, but
born with them.
I don't really put too much thought to it. But you're telling me we could get... That's, man. All right, let's do it.
No, I mean I'm a guy under this, and he just takes off the mask. It's like a patterned Torg.
Just a dude.
They're unpatterned indigo. Because I mean, you don't know who I am. It's just the formality, really. But yeah, puts it back on.
I'll be totally honest. It never crossed my mind to really question it.
That's why we don't give them to just anybody.
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah, sign us up, my dude. We're
Right,
ready
Dan.
to go.
Yeah, let's show us on the map here where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be heading to Blood Crag as fast as you can.
All right.
It's going to be north here, the big loop past Newtown up into the Freedlands.
So now, just so we're straight, we're running interference for a bigger barge that's carrying the mail.
Yeah, there's going to be a barge, from what we've been told. That barge should have all the requisite documents. It's going to be heavily armed, heavily armored. It's going to be top of the line, but even that is the defense mechanism. We need someone to be clearing the road ahead so it encounters minimal interference, even with the armaments it has.
Ah, all right. So we don't actually have anything in the cargo hold.
You? No. Whatever you feel like carrying.
Yeah, so we need to go from the southern coast here all the way or up and around to the northern coast to meet up with this wagon. And then I'm assuming we're crossing over towards Ravensrook, which, if memory serves, is somewhere around here.
The Rooker chimes in and he goes, well, we don't need you to go to Ravensrook. They're going to have it from there on the mainland team. What we need is the following. If you start there at Blood Crag,
Yeah.
from there, the next destination, they're going to want you to go up to, I believe, Bloodwine, to the east of there.
Okay.
Or to the west. Hold on. Fluff through his... Yeah, past Westwatch on the other side of that horn.
Alright. Yep, there's berry wine. Alright, so we would want to go... Oop. I lost that map. Here we go. Towards there. Okay.
I'm also... This is just... It would be terrible storytelling for me to have this guy go, I'm not allowed. That's classified information. But for the sake of logic, reasonably, this guy would not have this information. You would gain this from various sources after, making your way to Blood Crag. But for the sake of actually clarifying, so you go from Blood Crag to Berrywine, to Westwatch to Newtown, to White Abbey, and then onward from there to some other places. I'll give you some time to catch up there.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep track of all of them on the map.
I'm going to remember what they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, you go there through the Redwine Keep, and then you're probably going to want to put a mark down. You're going to a place called Dagger Bay, which is the capital of Soth, to the far south, and then to Riverbend, which is at the deep southern tip of the mainland.
So all the way down, here to where the yellow pin is?
Kind of eastbound and then down.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
And then we had to go to Newtown as well.
You don't have to mark them all down.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember, all the, maximum distance places. This star is, we got Berrywine and, all of that other places. And then we're probably going to go where you said, Redwine Keep.
Yeah.
So that's right around here. So we're going to be in this area. And then we're going to go here.
Yeah, so for the sake of, a useful map, I would put down... one of the pins on the Red Wine Isles, and then one of them kind of at the end of that river where the jungle and desert meet at the southern tip of the mainland. And it's kind of the bulk of your route, more or less.
Ah. Uno momento. I need to fix that. There we go.
Yep. All good. Our frame just fell for a second. We're good.
Yep. And there we go. Grabbing the right thing. There we go.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the route.
All right.
Cool. Let's rock and roll. Let's go get some supplies.
Yeah, we're going to be a month out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, month out starting from Bloodcrag, right?
Yeah.
That's for getting up at the barge and all like that, yeah.
Well, really, you're not going to be a month out. You'll be up to a month out, but if you're any good at your job, you're going to be well under. As fast as you can.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, easy peasy.
All right, so you guys all make your way out and settle down towards the village where you picked up your stuff. You guys were switching with the same color pattern. I got your sails and all that. You're switching to the gaff rigging. We're going to have the roof fixed. They're going to be installing the bunks. So I'm probably going to time skip. Functionally, it would be like 3 days in game, kind of inconsequential. If you want to just mark down 3 days of supplies and rations gone.
Okay.
And the next time we meet, you are going to be meeting up with your charge in Bloodcrag with the new and improved SS Bilgewater.
Ooh. So how many of those days can I craft for?
4 segments for each of the 3 days, plus 2 bonus segments.
Okay.
So that would be 14 total.
14. All right.
So maybe just take the average roll and multiply that by 14.
Yeah, maybe if you don't like rolling fucking dice.
Oh man, I got some original Bloodwine energy going on there. How about I just roll 14 times 46?
That's 56. I'm gonna need more dice.
Yeah, we're going to have this conversation off stream anyhow for some details for how I start next stream, but tune in next time when we reunite for a long eastward and downward span. You guys can check us out at twitch.tv/Mr. Croden, later half of 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. You guys can check us out at youtube.com/Mr. Croden, where we post these episodes after we air them, and you can go to bloodwine.fandom.com to play this game for yourself. Anything to plug in the upcoming days?
I'm finishing Halo 3 tomorrow, and I'm very happy because I love Halo 3.
Nice.
It's easily my favorite Halo.
The thing is, based on the bulk of nostalgia, I expect that to be several streams long, but at the same time, those games weren't known for having long campaigns.
It's incredible. So Halo 1 was 1 stream. Halo 2 was 4.
Oh.
Because it's a pain in the ass, and I'm never going back to playing it.
Aww.
It's terrible. And Halo 3, we could have done in 1 stream, but I decided to call it. We could have done it in 1 entire fucking stream. It would have been great. But yeah.
Okay, so that's 28 dice.
So tune in for that. I don't know if I'll be able to stream this weekend. So I don't know if there's going to be Fable this weekend. Stay tuned for that.
It'll go how it goes.
It'll go how it goes. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.